I'm super stoked on this thing. It looks and performs really well. So please stick around to the end of the video and I'll tell you everything that I've done to this truck so far. Welcome back to O Brothers RC. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and do the final upgrades to the C-64. I love this little truck and it's become extremely capable with the upgrades that I've done. I've got some videos up on that if you want to check them out. Put the links in the description. This thing has been really fun to work on. I think the reason why is because it was only 50 bucks and I'm just not worried about screwing it up. But everything I've done so far has worked out and it's made it really capable and it looks really good. So now I'm going to do the final upgrades to this thing to really bring it to the next level. That includes giving it a paint job, moving the battery up front to redistribute the weight, putting in a driver on the passenger side because the steering wheel is on the wrong side. Or the right side, depending on where you're from, I guess. Probably going to shave the C-hub here on the portal a little bit. I'm going to color the tail lights and try to find some lights to install as well. Oh yeah, and I'm going to cut these side windows out. And that's really all I got planned for now. Maybe some other stuff will pop up along the way, but it's a pretty long list already, so let's get started. First, I need to remove the body. There's quite a few screws under here, so I'm going to have to figure out which ones I need to take out to detach the body. Okay, so the bed is held on by 3 screws. One is here, and then there's 1 and 2 there. Then the bed just comes right off. The step boards only have 2 screws, then you can pop them right off. Then it's just 4 more screws to get the body off. There's 1 here, and 2 more in the front here. Once you get those out, you can pop the body off. Now I want to take the bumper and the interior out. And it looks like there's 6 screws right here in the front. Yeah, once you get those screws out, your grill and your bumper will come off. Now that I got the interior removed, I'll just remove this dash here. And finally, I want to pull the windows out. So I just remove these 2 screws in the back here and the whole back comes off. And that makes it pretty easy to get the glass out. Cool, now I can just chop out the window here. Man, the interiors on these things really are detailed. Pretty freaking awesome. If you wanted to paint the whole interior, you could definitely make it really cool. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I am going to move this battery wire so that I can move the battery. All right, now that I got all the parts removed, I can get to work on the paint job. Then I'll be able to do the other upgrades in between coats. So I've already started taping off the body here. Kind of want to do a retro scheme on this truck. So that means lots of taping off. All right, while the body's going through the painting process, I'm going to go ahead and do some other details. So I just took an orange Sharpie and I did the marker lights here. And a yellow Sharpie on this one here. And as you can see there, it makes a huge difference. The next thing I wanted to do was cut these windows out, so I got my Dremel with the death wheel on it and I cut them out. Okay, some parts are coming back from paint and man, am I excited about this paint job. This has been a very long process. Man, a lot of time went into getting these stripes on here. But I am pretty stoked with the result. All right, the main body is done. Let's get a look at it. Doing stripes is particularly difficult because you've got to tape the body off several different times. But this was the perfect body to practice on. This WPL being cheap, you know, it didn't cost much. So I wasn't terribly afraid to screw the body up. So I went ahead and tried something I've never done before, you know, which was these multiple layer of stripes. But I am super stoked that I did. The stripes came out pretty good, especially for my first time, I think. Truth be told, this paint job's rougher than a stucco bathtub with a crocodile in it. And man, I am super excited about this paint job. The only thing maybe I don't love is this white here. Yeah, I think I definitely need to paint that black. So one more round of tape. All right, hopefully this is the last time I'll have to tape this body off. The paint is complete and I totally dig it. It's a crazy paint scheme. It's got some orange peel and there's some residue from the tape as well. But I painted it while it was raining, so I didn't expect it to be the best paint job. And now that the body is painted, I got to put this truck back together. But first I need to get a driver in here. And then I want to relocate the battery from this compartment here. And I'm going to put it next to the driver. I've removed the seat here, and with the weight from the seat and the driver, it's about the same as this battery. So that'll balance the truck out. Now I'm trying to fit the body on here and see how the driver fits in the cab. Then once I figure that out, I'm going to have to cut out some of this material underneath the dashboard here to accommodate his feet. There it is. I took a chunk out underneath the steering column there, and his feet have plenty of room now. I was also able to run this battery line, and I decided to use a new LiPo battery. I was able to pop the seat out and add some Velcro tape there. And it hides down in there pretty good, and it's easy to get to for charging. All right, now the last thing I want to do is shave these C-hubs just a little bit. All I want to do is just round these edges off so they don't snag up on rocks. That means I'll need the death wheel. It's a pretty small amount, but rounding that off can make a big difference. All right, I've done everything I wanted to do to the truck, and I like it a lot. But I was just sitting here looking at it, and I think it just has one too many colors. So I think I'm going to go ahead and repaint the red black, and it'll sort of wrap the front. All right, I've had just about enough of this taping off business, and hopefully this is the last time I'll have to do it. All right, I like that a lot better. I think it looks a lot nicer. I might even add another black stripe here, but I think it looks pretty dang good the way it is. So I'm really stoked on this truck, and I'm super excited to take it outside right now and see how it performs. So for this last video in the series, I wanted to bring it back down here to the mud pit and go through some of the obstacles that we went through when this thing was fresh out of the box. It had a pretty hard time right here. It was hanging up on the axle. That is much easier now. I couldn't get up this hill without, flooring it and using all the wheel speed. Now it just creeps right up it, no problem. All right, it's working great, so I want to try this tougher obstacle here. Pretty tough, large size rocks, and very steep, so let's see what it can do. Oh, nice. Nice. All right, let's run this thing through the river rock here and see how the suspension is functioning, and just check out the slow crawl in action. This thing is really awesome now. I'm super stoked on the color. The wheels look great. I didn't have to paint them. I just painted the truck instead, and I really like it. The suspension is working really well. The mods I did are better than I thought, and it's really nice and smooth. Also, the portals are providing just a ton of clearance, and this thing's functioning really well. Wow, came right through there, no problem. This truck is definitely surprising me with how capable it is and controllable it is. It's really nice. All right, this rock is very steep. Uh-oh, got myself in a fix here. This rock is very steep, and I don't think I'll be getting up it. But let's have a go and see what happens. This rock is probably 60 degrees. I'll have to get my gauge out and measure it, but it's about 60 degrees, I think. You can see how steep it is there. You can see the background. It's not tilted, so I'm not faking it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be able to get up this, but I'll give it one more shot. No, it's not going to happen. Let's hit some more cool obstacles, and then I will take this thing back to the garage and tell you everything I did to it to make it, crawl and perform like this. This is a $50 truck. Actually, I'm into this thing probably $100 now, but it's super controllable, super capable, and super fun. This thing has definitely surprised me today. It's a much better crawler than I even thought it would be. The suspension works just amazing. So my opinion about WPL has definitely changed over the last 4 videos. And this thing is awesome. I really, really like it. It's got a ton of control, great balance. I mean, it's actually a fantastic crawler now. Okay, I think we've seen that this thing is just way more capable than it used to be. So let's take it back to the garage and I'll tell you exactly what I did to it to get it to perform like this. Right, this thing is rad. I freaking dig it. It crawls amazing. It looks amazing. And the coolest thing of all is that nothing broke today. I drove this thing over some really big obstacles and this whole truck held together well, no trouble. Flex is killer. So all in all, I think the upgrades I did to it are working out really good. And most everything I did was free, except for the wheels and tires and the portal axles I bought, and these metal drive shafts as well. And all of that added up to $70. Then the truck was $55. So I'm into this thing for a total of $125, which is a little more than I thought, but it adds up quick. And everything else I did was free. I shaved the transmission, I shaved the C-hubs, I shaved the running board, I shaved the front bumper, I shaved both fender wells. I also had to shave these portal axles right here to get this four-link to move freely. Next we got the shocks. I put grease in the shocks and I clipped off about 1/3 of each rear spring. In the front I added heavy grease inside the shock and I clipped about half the spring off. Then I glued the spring down to the spring retainer on the bottom and on the top. That keeps the shocks from unloading on climbs, but as you saw in the video, it still allows for killer articulation. I removed the rear bumper and I removed the passenger seat to put the battery in. I also removed the roll bar and I cut out the windows and put a driver in there. Then of course there's a paint job. And last but not least, I put these wheels and tires on. The links to the parts I used will be in the description. And if you want to know how to do any of the stuff that I just described, I show you how in my previous videos. The links to those will be in the description as well. I hope this video was useful or helpful to you. If it was, could you please hit the like and subscribe button. Then smash that bell to get notified of my future videos. Then you'll be the first to know when I drop my next video. Thanks for coming along with me on this WPL adventure. Let me know if you have any questions or need help with your upgrades. But most importantly, when you think RC, think O Brothers RC. Thanks for watching. Let's see if we can get up on this 1/10 scale obstacle here. These are big rocks, and I'd be really surprised if we could get up there. Wow, that was freaking awesome.